Welcome to episode 4, the EastTO Happy Hour, season 1.
I'm Shane Little.
And I'm Jenny Simon.
And we are co-hosts of the EastTO Happy Hour podcast. We are realtors with the Riches Group Remax Hallmark, and we live, breathe, and work in the East End. We want to introduce all of you to our awesome friends, business owners, and interesting people that we know and are going to get to know in the neighborhood.
And because it's happy hour, we've decided that we're going to partner with local breweries, coffee shops, so we can have a cocktail or a drink with our new friends to get to know them a little bit better.
While supporting local. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy this episode. All right, hello and welcome to episode 4 or 4.5 or 5, we don't know, of EastTO Happy Hour podcast. Our guest today is Cheryl Torrance, East End legend, Wall of Chef winner, staple at Torq, and also Uncle Chuck's barbecue. Great pickles, barbecue sauces, things like that. We're very honored to have her with us today. So thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me, guys.
There we go. That was, I think, my best radio intro yet. And today
it was very sultry. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to switch teams.
Yeah.
You want to switch seats?
If there's one man that
I can reach him from here.
And then today we also have Salter Street Riverside Copper Pilsner. We're enjoying this. No glasses, straight from the can. That's how we're doing it today. So welcome,
Riverside
Cheryl.
adjacent, so this is perfect.
Yeah, we often visit. We dip our toes in there.
This is the stupidest intro we've ever done.
I love
it. It's amazing.
Great. Cheers. Thanks.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers to now.
Yeah.
We have something in common. We're beaches bitches at heart.
We are beaches bitches.
So you were born and raised in the beach?
East General.
Me too.
Whatever it's called now, Michael Guérin. Yeah. No. Reppin' East York, baby.
I love it.
Yep.
That's how you know you're from the beach.
That's right.
You were born in East General.
Yeah.
You can check and you're like, where were you born? And you're like, same actually.
When they say Michael Guérin, you're like, what are you, 12?
Yeah. What are you, 8.5? It's like people calling the Sky Dome the Rogers Center. You're like, no, what are you, 2?
Yeah, exactly.
Get it together. So you were born and raised in the beach.
Yep.
And you're East End still.
East End after having left for a very, very long time, but found my way back, not quite at the beach, but close enough in the most fabulous community called Leslieville.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love Leslie.
Absolutely. So what about Leslieville brought you back to the East End?
It absolutely wasn't deliberate. I was actually living at Broadview and Danforth, okay. And I was looking at working for Torq Spin.
Oh, that's when you moved back to...
And we thought we better make the descent a little more south, and was pleasantly surprised about how fabulous it was. Growing up, coming from the beach, and my mom would curl at Royal Canadian Curling Club, we would only make one stop, and that was at the Wonder Bread warehouse. You did not stop. You did not get out of your car. It was Sketchville.
Not Leslieville.
And so I was completely surprised with the community and the amazing people and the amazing businesses here. And I felt instantly at home. I talk about this a lot. Community growing up in the beach, because it's such a small area. My family was part of the church, so my grandfather was a minister at Q Beach United.
Which is at Winneba and Queen.
Yeah.
I went there. I was a choir girl.
Did they kick you out? So was I. Wrong word, girl.
An altar boy.
We should have RuPaul'd that shit. But the thing about the beach is that you kind of feel like you're in an exclusive club. Like you feel like the rest of Toronto is not a part of the beach. And so growing up, we really knew everybody in our community, and we called everybody auntie and uncle. Like my parents would give shit to kids, and their parents would give shit to me, and everybody watched out, and you always knew where you could go. And if you weren't at their house, you were at their house. So Leslieville completely felt like that.
Right.
And getting to know the people and working at Torq allowed me to just be opened up to this community. And I was just like, this is home. this is home.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you moved to Leslieville like with anticipation of Torq. I thought you were like always there.
Nope, we had just moved.
You felt like a fixture. So I'm a real estate agent. You obviously know this shit. But if you didn't know, and when Torq started, Julie Mitchell, who's going to be on the next episode, who's like fucking incredible, was like, you should come and teach spin. And so I was like, I don't know anything about it. She's like, just get over here. And she just pulls all these amazing people into this like room. And so I kind of went in blind and I was like, what the hell's happening? And I'm a beach girl at the time. And so I didn't really know the whole Leslieville community. And we sit in this like boardroom. And I remember being like, who's that? And you were like...
You thought I was hot. I knew it. I fucking knew it.
My basement flooded. And I was like, well, it's so interesting. And then I got to obviously like meet you and chat with you. And it's like, to know Cheryl is to know like sunshine. Really. It really is. You like brighten everyone's day. But it was really incredible to see this like room of people of like no one I knew. And it was like, you were like, what's up? We're going to be pals. And it
Absolutely.
was so amazing.
You swear more than me.
She never talks about me this way.
Yeah. I was like, wow, there's a butcher girl in here and it's Jenny Simon. Awesome.
Stop it.
And a gayer man than me sometimes.
Honey, absolutely. See, I always say this.
Yes. You got to embrace your inner gay.
Totally.
Yeah.
Gay all day.
Yeah. Always. Every day of my life. Ready?
Let's go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Second beer.
I'm on my first beer.
Lightweight.
Yeah. Amateur.
Set up mic and stuff.
It's so good.
Okay, so sorry, we just had to do a change of wardrobe and hair due to Shane and I.
Hold on. Did Shane have to do hair?
I had to do hair. Yes. I gotta shine this
He
baby
had
up.
a full long set of locks on earlier, and we had to shave it.
Yeah.
Just to cool him down.
I was gonna go to Thailand or whatever.
Turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah, that's what you know. And if you know anyone's going to Turkey, you know what they're doing.
Yeah. There's actually a beautiful world of TikTok that's all just people taking photos on planes on the way back from Turkey and just all the hair transplants of everyone. It's hilarious. So we're going to Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you moved to Leslieville. You entered Torq's. Dolly looks like a nun. So you entered Torq's kind of community. What did that look like? What did that feel like for you?
You know, I had left or wanted to leave the food world. And I had started working with Julie, just the morning shifts, just a couple times a week. And then I would go into my other job. And I was almost at the 20-year mark. And I was burnt out. It was a long haul. I was great at it. I had fun. It rearranged my life upside down all around. And I was doing a job and I just thought, I can't do this anymore. It was like the same kind of thing I was walking into every day.
Yeah.
And Julie happened to show up for a ride one morning. I think it was a Friday morning, and I was working the early shift, and intuition came in and she just said, "Are you okay?" And I wasn't. I was fed up. I was pissed off. And she said, "Come work for me." And I was like, huh? This is a fitness industry. What? What do you mean come work for you? And she's like, yeah, I have a job. I'll put an offer on the table. It was, it's not a bad job, but it was a little low ball. But I just said to my wife, Tamara, I said, look, I have an opportunity to kind of reshape myself, take a break. Yeah. And after almost 20 years, I have an opportunity to maybe just step back and take a look at my life and rejig it. And so I signed the contract. And I signed the contract because it just completely felt right. And I was in a place that made me happy. I was spinning. My entire life started to change because I started to be more healthy. I wasn't working those crazy days and long hours. And my wife and I just financially made it work so that I could do it. And here we are next month celebrating 6 years.
It's incredible.
It's been first of all, my longest job. It's been an awesome ride, right? Well, come on, like the food industry. Right? Yeah. Right?
They burn you out.
Oh, they burn you out. You get burnt out, and so you change it a lot. But it just felt right from the beginning. So I just, even though it wasn't in my career path or my wheelhouse, I just decided to go with it, and it changed my life personally. Right. And then it opened up this massive opportunity of community and meeting people. And then it completely snowballed from there, from doing personal talks, getting paid to talk about kind of who I am and where I came from, to a comedy show, to the Wall of Chefs. Like, it's snowballed, and there's still more coming. Like, there's a bunch of stuff right now I can't talk about, but there's something on the horizon that's pretty massive. So, yeah.
There's that.
So those are the nuggets. So it's not just the job. It is a family. It's a community. It is the kind of thing where I walk down the street and I'm like the king of Kensington. I know everybody. I know their name. I know their kids. And it's really important to me. It's sewn into my fabric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
it comes through.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it comes through, like, just even if people know you, following you on social and things like that. I was going to say, it's so important too to like have the right family or crew around you. And I think number one, Tamar being so supportive, like making it work and helping you kind of follow those dreams. And then once you do, get plugged in with that, all the opportunities that open up, I think that's super cool.
Yeah. It's been amazing. I can't complain at all. I've been very fortunate.
You have a reach that people are like, you used to teach at Torq? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God, Chef Hinked? Like, no one even, like, I'm like, have you met Cheryl? Well, no, but like, their social media, like, I can't stop watching. It's so amazing. It's so positive. Like, you take the time to put out a lot of like really positive pieces in your life. And I think that it radiates. I think that that's why like people like, Julie and everybody that's come through on all of the most amazing snowball stuff from Torq is because you're not saying, the world's over. And like, we have enough negativity in our lives. And, you just go like, you shine a light on where we should be, appreciative of stuff.
But it also radiates because it's authentic.
Yeah.
Like you can tell, like there's people that get up there and every day they're like, putting on a fit. Like you can tell it's authentic. And from someone who like has been getting into more content creation, I can tell you it's tough. Like it seems easy to do like a 30-second minute video.
No.
Just from doing that. And like Asan knows this as well. Like you got to show up, you got to be on, you got to, and some days like it's like you have a bad day.
It's not in there.
It's not in there.
Yeah.
Not enough sleep.
Yeah. Not enough sleep.
Migraine. Whatever.
Yeah. But what you do, I think why people connect, and it's the same with, I think, the whole world, but specifically the East End, like you can tell when people are being authentic. So it's just really cool that comes across. But what do you do on days where, like, if you're not feeling 100%, like, cause you're out there every day at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever, opening up the shop, doing all that stuff. Like you're there, it seems like every day. Like, what do you do on days where you're just not feeling it? You just kind of go through it. Or
There's
do you
not
always feel it?
Too many days that I don't feel it. And honestly, I'm actually fueled by caffeine. So when 5 o'clock,
drug self.
4:30 or 5 o'clock, whatever time my alarm goes off, I have one coffee so that I'm not like a hibernating bear.
Yeah.
And then I have a second coffee so that by the time people walk through the door, I'm like, let's kick some ass, right? It's not fake. Like, it's not fake.
No, you
the thing about COVID for me, which was really hard, so it probably dropped off during COVID, is because I'm fueled by people.
Yeah.
When people come to me, I feel their energy. That energizes me, and then I'm next level, right? Like last night I walked into work. I had a day where I just kind of checked all the boxes off in my day. I was tired, but checking all the boxes off in my day just meant that I was like next level. And like Brian came in to do his class and he was next level. I called him cheeky today. He was extra cheeky. But I felt that. And then I was like lit.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, it's very rare that I'm not at that level.
Right.
There's not too many things that bring me down. And even if there's a difficult situation, it won't last long for me.
Yeah.
Just because I need to find the lighter side of life, because I can't get bogged down with the nonsense. It doesn't mean it doesn't affect me. It doesn't mean I don't get sad or depressed, or or angry or out of sorts, or I just need to cave in my little home, it happens, but it's very rare that it will happen. And Tamar always says, I've never seen somebody get over something so fast. And growing up, I think that's just how I dealt with stuff. I was just like, that was yesterday, it's not today. That was an hour ago, it's not now. All right, let's go.
That's incredible. I need more of that.
Yeah, but you are kind of like that too. Like, so you, I would say, like you're, I think on a level 100, but like a typical extrovert, right? So you do feed off other people.
Absolutely.
Jenny's very similar. She feeds off other people as well. I need my I need my cave time.
Yeah.
Thing, but
I'm tired until I go out. I'm like, I could sit on the couch. I'm like, I'm so tired. I don't want to go out. I drag my sorry ass out anywhere I need to go. And then I go out, I'm like, yeah, best time ever. Right? Totally. I'm never going home. I'm never leaving. And then I have to like go home and I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? Like,
I know, sometimes I think about it. I think about myself and I think about, like, I'm in recovery. But I think about, oh my God, me on drugs would have been insane. And it was. Nothing I did when I was doing drugs was normal.
Yeah.
It was full tilt.
Yeah.
It was fucking full tilt. Because I'm already up there. I don't need drugs. And so my drug is spinning.
yeah.
Right? If I want to go, like last night in Charlotte's class, I wrote her class. I was like, I said to the women in front of me, I was like, I'm so sorry.
I honestly feel like I have to apologize to everybody around me when I show up to Torq classes because I'm like screaming like, woo, yeah, and I'm like, no one else is saying anything. It's like a silent room. And I'm like, no, you gotta like, let
No,
them know.
I was calling people out. I was like, Amy in the front row, I'm coming for you, girl.
It's so good.
It's so good. That's the cool thing about Torq. And I haven't been in, a ton, but like I've started to go a lot more recently. Like when they put up everyone's leaderboard, you can kind of see. That's when I ride the hardest. I'll be like, okay, this is a recovery ride, and then I'm like, as soon as I can see what everyone's doing,
as soon as you see those
and they
numbers,
can see what I'm doing, I'm like, no, we gotta go.
Next level.
It's
Next
amazing.
level.
It's amazing. We've got a young girl that works on our team, and she's like, my friend just moved into Leslieville, and she started spinning at Torq, and she's like, she can't get enough of it because the second they put that screen on, she's like, I've never worked this hard at any other spin studio, because you look and you're like, okay, where am I? And you're like, oh my God, I gotta go hard. Like if anyone's any competition inside of you, like ignites.
If anybody ever said to me, are you competitive? I always said no.
Yeah.
I didn't play competitive hockey. I played rec.
Yeah.
And anybody who was on rec who was competitive, I disliked them very hard. I was like, fuck you, get off my team. This is no fun. You're not fun. You're serious, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm not competitive. And then those damn screens and those damn numbers came up, and it's a mind game. That's what it is.
It's a total mind game.
I'm like watching you to see if you like slow down in your active recovery, because then I'm going to raise the bar, baby.
I've even once rode beside like a dude that came in like full cycling
regalia.
Like, I was like, you are so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not competitive. And I was like, I'm just coming just to
feel good.
flush the legs out. And they turned the screen on, and I was like,
I'm going to crush you.
I will
This son of a
cut
bitch is
bit.
going
I eat
down.
quarterbacks
And
for
at one point, I had
breakfast.
to pretend like I wasn't trying very hard, and he was like, what the hell's going on? And I was like I'm trying to ride a pram, and I was like, inside, I was like, are you kidding me? I won't be able to walk tomorrow.
That's the cool thing about the dark room, though, too, is because sometimes they can't really see how hard you're working, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You're just like, literally this
I was
pool
like-
underneath me, but
I was one step close to death that day, and I was like,
I'm going to kick your ass.
yeah.
don't do it. I'm wearing that outfit. I have to.
And then you start to know the people, so then you're like, okay, I know where they ride. I know where you can see like when
totally.
they drop. So last night my whole thing was to beat this one person, but I don't go all the way right.
Yeah.
I just keep it in the middle, but I keep it at 200 watts, no less, right?
Yeah.
And that was the goal. And so it was a hard ride because you don't change from it, but because I'm not dropping it left and I'm not going right and it's not so extreme, I maintain,
There's a bit of a game
I can
with
qualify.
100%. There actually is, and you're right. Like once you start knowing who you're riding with, we did team rides over COVID on an app that shall not be named.
Yes,
but there were people on the team that would go, and they would just like from the start line, they would just go full out. And I would just go, okay, like you said, you keep your watts on average. Watch them literally burn themselves out. You can see they're going from like 400 to like down to like 50.
So I could see it last night where this person who I was like, oh, this is my competition tonight. And I could see I knew because the instructor said, we're going to do this twice. It was a 2-minute drill.
I love Charlotte's.
And I was like, okay, And I was like, I'm going to maintain right now. You're going to blow yourself in this first minute.
Yeah.
I'm just going to hold and maintain. I took it.
Yeah.
Not by much. But then we did it a second time. And the quads were burnt. And I went... This is a non-competitive person.
Yeah. I know, and it's like this. Like, there's like a sickness that like happens.
Totally.
Well, that's why you get such a good workout too.
That's
and
right.
you kind of like the cool thing about Torq is one other workouts or whatever is you kind of learn how mentally you can push yourself. Like Sunday we went and had a big night out the night before. Jenny almost had to like she pulled me out of the house basically.
I was like, I paid good money for this class.
Yeah, get the hell out.
And also, I remember last time I was there, you're like, those two people didn't show up. They didn't tell, and you were. So I'm like, I have to show up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have to show up for Cheryl. So yeah, we go and we show up, and then I ended up putting like the last push. It was like I beat everyone. I don't know still don't know the metrics. I just know the number was bigger. Right. It was like 24 to like 14 or something.
Yeah.
But I'm like, on a day where normally I wouldn't even almost get out of bed until like 11, and here before 11, I'd already like just. Went balls to the wall.
Yeah, and most of it is mental. Your body will carry. Mental. Your body will carry you.
Yeah.
Your body will do what your mind tells it to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like boxing, right?
Yeah.
It's strategic.
Yeah.
It's mental.
Yeah.
And then follow it up by physical.
Totally. Yeah, but it's cool because you do that on a Sunday, and then the rest of your week, you're like, I can do anything.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. I just sweat out my hangover. I'm good to go. I just did,
Yeah, thanks for leaving all that sweat.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Thanks so much.
Hey, you were the one that held me accountable. I wouldn't have been there.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So,
okay, you're welcome.
But
Sweaty Betty.
Sweaty Betty. So you worked in the food industry for 20 years. So what did that look like? How did you get your start, and what did that career look like?
Well, I got my start late in life.
Okay.
I went to culinary school at the ripe old age of 29.
Ripe.
But you brought in.
But I also knew going in that if I was going to work in the food industry, I didn't want to work in a restaurant. And for a long time, I felt shame about not going that way. Right. But I think because of my age, I was just like, I can't be up until 3 a.m. I know what the industry's like. Yeah. I can't kind of do that to myself. So I went boutique-y way. So I did fine foods, fine butcher shops, specialized catering. That's the way that I went. It still was. It's still was a train wreck.
It's grueling,
but it was awesome. The people that I had the opportunity to work with, the businesses that I got to work for, what I was able to kind of dabble in, was amazing. For me, and like I said earlier, I'm in recovery. Unfortunately, because of the toll of working those hours and kind of what you get paid, you have to work way more than what you earn. So in order to kind of make above a certain wage, you had to work extra, and working extra meant you have to stay up and you have to work long hours, and there's pots and pots and pots of coffee, and there's ephedrine, and there's half a hit of Molly, and there's some cocaine, and all of a sudden you're doing drugs again.
Yeah.
Right. So, the cost of it was big for me. Yeah. And it took me a long time to realize, oh, wait a second. I got to take a break from this. Yeah. It's wrecked me physically. It's put me back into doing drugs, and I got to take a break, and I got to kind of take a look at what I'm doing, and I'm not fucking young. So, like I said earlier, Torq was able to give me that opportunity to pull myself away and kind of rejig my entire life.
Yeah. But obviously that passion's still there too, like with Uncle Chuck's barbecue and all that stuff. So like what drew you initially? Have you always been into food? Like what draws you to food and preparation and sauces?
I think for me, being a kid who really struggled through school, obviously now in my later life, like I have dyslexia, I have a learning disability, and I'm not somebody who gets on my soapbox and says like, I can't do this and I can't do that. Food offered me creative outlet. Yeah. And visual learning. And so all I had to do was be shown something once, and you could tell me how many people you wanted it for, whether it was 5,000 or 20, and it was easy to do. And I could do like 100 things at one time. So in terms of, I feel always like I have like an engineering brain, just not in terms of engineering. I'm able to put a lot of things in one box, do a lot of things at the same time, execute them really well. Probably one of the things that people would say about me was how I structured myself in the kitchen. It was clean, it was organized, it was detailed, and then the output was felt by customers. So it was just an easy thing for me to catch on to. I never cooked as a kid.
Interesting.
Never cooked as a kid. Well, I literally made chocolate chip cookies once, and being dyslexic, I forgot a very important ingredient.
The chocolate?
And I think the flour. And, and my mom was like, that's it, get out of the kitchen. And I never cooked.
Oh.
I never cooked. But also my mom was somebody who stayed home every day, so you didn't need to cook.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, my kind of love for playing around with stuff in terms of food was much later in life. I came to it later in life, but it made sense to me.
Yeah.
And so I was very much an asset within the kitchen, but also who I am personally. That's a whole, I always call it the group home. Kitchens are group homes.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know this firsthand because I've lived in some group homes.
Amazing.
And so it's all odds and sods, and it's really kind of like a game of chess. You have to put the people in the right spot,
right,
and you have to move them around to get the kitchen to move in the way that you need to. But you also have to be gentle. You also have to understand, like, quite often these people are getting minimum wage.
Yeah.
They're working 2, 3, 4 jobs. Right? So you have to understand who you're working with. And I think that was a key strength for me.
Yeah.
Leaving and going to Torq has allowed me to take time. Winning the Wall of Chefs ignited that piece of passion for food.
Tell us about Wall of Chefs. Like, how did it come to you? Sorry, I interrupted.
No, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
I was told to apply. I have... doesn't matter.
Okay. By me.
Yeah,
Clearly.
sure.
No, sure. No. Someone
told to apply, and it's not the first show I had applied to, because people say, you need to apply, you need to be on TV.
Well, you do.
So I'm a little less educated on this. So how far into Torq was this? Is this like right after you leave the kitchen, or is it like...
No, this is about 3 years into Torq.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was in 2019.
Yeah.
Was it 2019? No,
Yep.
it was 20.
It was 2018 I applied, 2019 the show was aired. Yes, darling.
Okay.
It was the year before, because I remember you talking to me about this.
The year before COVID. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm just trying to piece it all
COVID's an
together.
easy benchmark.
Yeah.
It is a...
Yeah. So I had just come back from my knee surgery. Right? So I put in an application, sent in a 4-minute video of me making something at home. Didn't hear. I thought, yeah, okay, whatever. I think I sent it in May. And then the day before, I'm going to the cottage for 10 days. They're like, you're in. And we need all this shit. I was like, thank God for my wife, because she did it all. We were in Huntsville at the public library scanning shit to send in, right? And then it was really quick. So that was the end of August. And then September 17th, we did our filming at the CBC, and it was all day. It was from 6 a.m., and I didn't get out of there until 9:30 at night.
I'm going to preface this, though, that before you went, you kind of knew what you needed to do. Like,
Yeah.
you'd have a signature dish.
Yes, so what they told us that we would have to prepare was a crowd-pleasing dish. And so it was kind of up to us what we would make. So I invited some of the instructors from Torq over, and
With the most perfect palates.
yes, and the biggest peppercorn grinder. And I made them my crowd-pleasing dish, which I recreated on the show, which was my opening dish. And it was a seared duck breast on an arugula peach hazelnut salad.
Wow.
It's so good. Oh my God. I don't even like duck breast that much.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, if you can sell this somewhere, just set up a shop just to sell that salad. Oh my God. It was so good.
Yeah. So I didn't win that round on the show, but it was good enough that I stayed.
What did they say you needed more of?
Pickled onion, which I think my friend Jenny Simon told me it should have been pickled.
That is impressive.
She was completely right. I will say that Lynn Crawford might have said the same thing to me.
Cheryl's I said, it would be great if you took these onions and you pickled them. And Cheryl's like, oh, fuck off, Jenny. And I was like, you're not. You're right. I should fuck off. And then you know what? It was bigger Cheryl to tell me. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. And then Lynn Crawford spanked me with the same information. I was like, God damn it. Anyway, and then the second round was Massimo. He had 3 items in his pantry,
okay.
which were sun-dried tomatoes, heirloom carrots, and pancetta.
That's a good little combo.
The good thing about where I was positioned, though, was the fridge was right behind me. So every time I went in the fridge, I took as much stuff. Like, they didn't tell you can only take this much. I was just like, strategic. Oh, I need to use all this. There's nothing left for you. And I put it on my station. Yeah. So I did a chicken supreme. All I did was salt and pepper it. I browned it on the outside, threw it in the 400-degree oven, got it to my 175, let it sit, let it rest. And then it was a little bit bold of me, but I just did veg. So I did zucchini, I did eggplant, onions, garlics, tomato. I used the sun-dried tomato in it and the pancetta. And I just made just a nice accoutrement of, yes, if I will, of kind of like a pan fry veg to go alongside of it. And that's what I served, and I won that round. And then me and Big Joe went to the final round, and it was pizza. Now, if you remember, I told you I'm dyslexic, so I don't follow recipes, ever.
Right.
So not being a baker for that reason, because you forget the flour sometimes in your chocolate chip cookies, I went to the pantry, so they kind of prep you as to what's going to happen. Next round, what's available in the pantry. I say to the on-site chef, bruh, he's French-Canadian, bruh, fucking help me out. I gotta fucking make pizza dough. I don't know how to make pizza dough. My wife always makes the pizza dough. So, and I don't deal in grams because I'm old school. He's like, this many grams, this many grams, this many grams. I'm like, I am screwed, dude.
You stand beside me the whole
I'm
time
like,
and just tell
I'm
me?
screwed. And in my head, I'm going, I don't know if I can pull off a pizza dough in 40 minutes for the show. Like that, I know from my wife making it, it sits for a while, right? So I'm like, I'm screwed, buddy. He goes, look at this. There's pizza dough ready to go. There's flatbreads. There's focaccia. You do you, boo. I'm like, okay. So, bam, off goes the counter. I go flying into the pantry. I grab pre-made dough, and I do it the way we do it at home. Tamar makes the dough. I take the dough. I roll out the dough. I either par bake it. What I usually do is I go to the grill on top of a sheet pan, and I do it like that. And then we take it in, we put our toppings on, and I put it back on the barbecue. But the problem was they wanted your culture, your heritage on the pizza. Now, I'm Scottish-Belgian, and that was pretty unfortunate. And Joe, my competitor, who was British and Irish, was all over it. He's like, I'm putting potatoes on my pizza. And he fucking made his dough from scratch. Now, I was praying to God it was not enough time. And guess what? It wasn't enough time. So in the last 5 minutes, Joe runs to the pantry. The entire wall of chefs is cheering him on. I'm cheering him on. Yeah. I don't want him to win. And I'm like, I just blew my chance at 10 grand. He pulls out the flatbread, everything else that he's got, the potatoes, the pesto, the chicken. He's good to go. Mark McEwen is like, yeah, buddy. I'm like, I'm screwed. No. I made a Canadiana pizza. Okay, it had gorgonzola on it. It had Parmesan. It had speck. I was like, to me, Canadian is immigrants. So I was like, what the fuck can I put on this pizza? I'm like, every single pizza joint you go into has a Canadiana pizza. Yep. It's full of meat. I'm like, I made little baby pork meatballs that were spicy. I was like caramelizing onions. I threw on some garlic. I was like, this is a solid pizza. It was a solid pizza. But they were so wowed by Joe in the last 5 minutes, I said, I just blew 10 grand. They stopped the cameras. They start the cameras again. Noel comes out. They, of course, say it in the slowest fashion. I'm like, I'm standing next to Joe. I'm holding Joe's hand, and I'm like, I just blew $10,000. And then they say my name.
That's amazing.
They say my name. I'm like, then they whisk me away, and I do an interview for an hour. And like, we haven't been on our cell phones, but Tamar has a GPSer on me. So she knows I'm still at CBC. She knows the likelihood that I may have won is pretty good.
Because you would have been home by now.
Right? So I make one phone call, get in the car, they drive me home. I'm like, babe. She's like, are you still there? I'm like, I'm in a car, I'm coming home. She's like, what happened? I'm like, babe, I just won $10,000.
It was fun because you did a viewing party for it.
Yeah,
and so no one knew.
Yeah.
We all showed up.
Yeah.
To Prohibition.
And how long after was the
it was viewing from the? So we taped September 17th, and it was February 10th that they showed it.
And they taped in one day.
In one day,
That's
man.
a marathon of a day.
It was brutal. It was so long.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
And so the Torq viewing party.
Well, it wasn't even just Torq. It was like Leslieville, East End.
It was a full bar.
Full bar.
Yeah.
And we were watching at Prohibition. They had every TV that was normally dedicated to sports. It was like we were watching Wallace Chefs. Like it was the goddamn Super Bowl.
Right?
and like every time Cheryl was going through, we're like, yeah! Like beer was like flying.
I even knew what was going to happen, and I was like,
And so this was season 1 of Wall of Chefs.
That was season 1.
If anybody hasn't seen it, and season 1, episode 2. Amazing.
Nice.
To check it out because it's really incredible.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
So that ignited that I maybe wasn't done with food.
Yeah.
Right.
That I still had a little mojo, and I just need to take a break.
You're chock full of mojo.
But what I knew was I couldn't go back into the daily grind. Done. I had knee surgery. Like I was like, there's no way my body can take it.
Yeah.
And I don't want it anymore. There's a level of lifestyle that I enjoy, fitness. I like looking, I just can't work that.
Right.
And then Una came into my life.
Una.
From the side kitchen, aka Sweat and Soda, a huge Leslievillian. And she said, Daddy, Pappy, she calls me. She said, I think you need to put something on the shelves of my new store. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And she said, I'm opening a store called The Side Kitchen, and it's going to be female women entrepreneurs and chefs that are, it's dedicated to them, and I think you should put something on my shelves. And I had no idea what I was going to do. But there's one thing that I absolutely love. Whether you're a pit master, medium, or just your basic backyarder, I love barbecue.
Yeah.
Right? That's my happy place.
Universal language.
It's ritualistic. It's like you think about it, you go and get the meat, it's like very primal, right? Very primal.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, I'll do a barbecue sauce. So I spent the summer going through barbecue sauces, what I liked, what I didn't. And then I did a rib rub to go with it. And then came the ketchup, the sup sauce.
So good.
The burgers.
The burgers came.
The burgers are very good.
Burgers.
Yeah.
What did you do? It was like,
and we were almost like converts because we went through, like, since we've been together, like smash patties.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, we're like smash patties. That's the only way to do it. It's a new
high fat, salt, smash them down. That's it. Like there was no filler, no anything.
And then we got your burgers when we were at the side kitchen, and they were phenomenal. Like they brought us back to anything other than smash.
And you sell them, but they're like great ingredients.
Yeah.
They're frozen, so you can pick them up anytime at the side kitchen.
Yep.
And like, what's the burger? Because it really is.
It's an old school recipe from my days at Cumbres.
Nice.
It's simple. It's salt. It's pepper. It's eggs. It's ketchup. It's Worcestershire.
Oh,
that's it. There's no filler.
Worcestershire.
I was going to say, I think the most impressive thing was that you just Worcestershire with like, I just call it Worcestershire.
Yeah, it's very sexy.
Yeah.
Being parents is what I can say.
The LMP. Yeah. The lip.
I was like, wait, can you just say that 5 more times?
Yeah. That's it.
Worcestershire.
You got it.
And so you do that. So you do the classic burger, but I also love the Uncle Cheeses.
The Chuck E. Cheeses.
The Chuck E. Cheeses, thank you, sorry. And that's just the burger with the cheese.
You got it.
So good.
So good, right? No fuss, no muss.
No fuss, no muss.
Yeah.
So we've got the rib rub.
And then
Barbecue.
we took to the ketchup, and then I had a happy accident. So obviously dyslexic, reading my own damn recipe, and I tripled the mustard powder in the recipe because I read the numbers opposite from what they were. And I was pissed off at myself because, of course, I taste everything. And I was like, fuck this up. And I was like, Yuna, she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I had a dyslexic moment. I put in too much hot mustard. Oh my God. She goes, taste it. It's really good. I actually think this is a happy accident.
Right.
And I taste it, and it's actually really good. So it's that Chucky Q barbecue sauce, except it has almost like just a slight wasabi finish. Nothing to blow your head off, but just enough to like heighten that nose. You know, when wasabi gets up your nose?
Love it.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And that's how boom sauce became.
Love the boom sauce.
Yeah. And then we came out with the cluck cluck, which is like Mexican inspired. So it's cumin, chili powder, and Mexican oregano.
Delicious.
Right? And then we came out with beefy, which is for your beef roast, your steaks.
Well, the perfect name.
It's so good, right? It's just classic flavors.
That's awesome.
And then the relish.
Then
don't even stop with the relish.
I know.
Stop.
I was like, oh shit, I've created a monster because it's all hand chopped, right? And everything is about the brine and what goes. So the dill seed and the dill weed, it's the perfect combination. I'm really very particular about the flavors that fall onto my burger and the combination of the onion to the pickle to the mustard to the ketchup is why some of those fast food chains have nailed it, right? Yeah. When you're on the road and you're making unhealthy decisions, there's something that happens for me and why I have my favorite on the road burger, because when you bite into it, the exact combination of how much onion to ketchup to mustard to pickle is really, really important. And once you nail that, for me, you've got the perfect burger. So my dill pickle relish literally was that game changer for me. I was like, this is what I want on my burger. I need to have this on my burger.
So that begs the question, what is your favorite on the road burger?
I know. Oh boy. It's an A&W burger.
It's gotta be A&W.
And I have to tell you, I have a funny story. So when I lived on the street and I was staying at a women's shelter, I met this woman. Her name was Lisa. And she worked at an A&W in the bottom of College Park.
Oh my God.
Okay. And she would say, just come down. I had nothing to do. I was doing nothing with my life. And so I would go down and hang out with them and eat cheeseburgers all day long. And she did this funny thing where she would do the bank deposits at night. And she ripped them off all the time.
But statute of limitations have gone past, so we're fine with
yeah. Okay. But I used to hang out with her all the time. And it was that seasoning. So they would put them on the flat top.
Yeah.
They don't griddle them. They don't grill them. They griddle them.
Yeah.
And it was this shaker. And I can remember saying to the person who's cooking the burgers, can I taste that? And it was this paprika salt. And then it was the combination of the amount of mustard, ketchup, pickle, and onion that went on to, look, he's salivating.
I really am.
I know.
A&W's underrated.
So am I.
Yeah.
And I said to Tamara, as soon as I saw A&W come in to Leslieville, I said, I'm in deep shit. I cannot have an A&W that close to me. I can forego the fries and the pop. Just give me that team burger.
Yeah.
Right? Crunchy lettuce, nice big thick fat tomato, and then, right? It's all put together.
Yeah. No, A&W is underrated, I feel like.
It is underrated.
But I will say it's a city, liver, growing up, A&W was never an option. I'm actually surprised that I even heard that there was one in the...
Hold on. You were in the beach and you didn't go to Vic Park and Danforth, roll up in your car, get them to come out, put the tray on your window.
Where
you're younger. I forgot.
Yeah, trays on windows.
Yeah. I've just dated myself.
We had a Burger King and Shoppers World.
Okay, Shoppers World was right there. Burger King was gone by then?
No, Burger King was Shoppers World.
A&W was gone by then?
Totally.
So you know where the Money Mart is on the corner?
Yeah.
On the northeast corner? Yeah. It was right next to there.
No, there's no A&W in sight.
You would roll in, It's kind of like Sonic is in the States right now. And there's a little thing with the menu on. With
like American Graffiti.
With a little speaker. And you would say, and then somebody would come out and pop the little tray on your window.
Isn't that nice?
You get a little foil package with your burger.
No A&W. And so all of a sudden, when it's like popping up everywhere, I'm like, what the hell is going on? It was just like something that was like, I just thought it was like not in the city. Now it's on every corner.
Yeah,
it might not have been, but yeah, like I grew up north of the city and A&W was everywhere.
Yeah. It's come back, Jenny.
It's coming back. I know.
Well, and they have like the most prime real estate. Like they have Girard and Broadview right now. If you go to the Westin, they've got like beautiful, yeah.
After your comedy show.
That's right.
So let's talk about your comedy show. What's going on with comedy? When?
I did it. I'm done it. It was a good ride.
Did you do one show?
No, I did 4 shows. Yeah, 4 shows. I opened for Susan Stewart. Comedy is not my thing. It's definitely her thing.
It's definitely your thing.
But she was like, I want you to come and open up the show. And I was like, okay, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I also don't read scripts. Why? Because I'm a little bit dyslexic.
Right.
So I'm a riffer. You tell me what you want me to say, I'll put my own spin on it.
Your crowd work would be phenomenal, though. Like, you do crowd work at Torq every day.
Yeah.
You do crowd work. I was there Sunday. You're going in. You're getting people around. Yeah, you do crowd work.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
You'd be a great opener.
Incredible. And I will say I laughed my ass off.
And where was it? Where did you?
What was the bar?
We went and saw you. It was someplace on the Danforth, Broadview. I don't really remember.
I can't remember.
It was years ago. And because of COVID, we had this big, long hiatus.
Yeah.
But I will say, if you are out and you ever see Cheryl Torrance name in lights and there's a comedy show
coming soon, by the way.
Coming soon, you just gotta go because you're gonna.
No, I never remember all the material. I had 10 minutes to fill, and that was my quota. I was like, that was the perfect amount of time.
Yeah,
because she is very well versed. She practiced. I do not read anything. I just pick up the mic and away I go.
Yeah. That's an art to itself, right? Like,
is it?
Yeah, 100% it is. Like a comedy skit is like it's performed, right? It's like punctual. It's like, okay, I'm going to say this with this emphasis at this time. But getting up there and just talking to a crowd for 10 minutes, is absolutely.
I just told real stories about my life.
100%. But not everyone can do that.
You also have a really. Like we didn't touch on anything really. We touched like the tip of the iceberg, but like you've got a very fascinating life.
Thank you.
Like where you've come from is pretty unbelievable with your mindset and how amazing you are and how on the bright side of life you look. So like if you do again have the opportunity to see you, it's pretty incredible because you find these like dark stories.
They're dark, but they're funny now.
They're hilarious,
right?
Now.
Yeah.
They're not funny.
And one of the stories I told at the comedy show, most of the crowd was laughing, but there were some people who were like, "Oh," I was like, "No, it's okay. I'm okay now.
We're good.
It's okay. It's all good. We laugh. But yeah, I left home at the age of 15, and I lived on the streets for about 6.5 years before I went to rehab and then basically had to build a life because obviously I left home at a really young age. And of course I thought I knew everything and I knew absolutely fuck all.
Like most of young people.
And being a damaged kid, you have to kind of learn what happened, how can you heal from it, where can you go from that. I never saw a future for myself. And so it was learning basically like how to walk. Yeah. And then thank God I had such fabulous people in my life and people who would just check on me. And that was how I found my way. And then just opportunity after opportunity kind of came in place. And I was very, very lucky. I have still wonderful people that I met back then. And just I don't always get it right. It doesn't always look pretty. I'm not a finesser. But I was able to, I'll tell you the secret. You want to know the secret? The secret is amazing women. And if you date them, you get all the perks.
I'm set. I'm good.
Yeah, you were totally set.
You lucky son of a bitch.
I just put myself in the position of like, oh, okay. So, not like, what can I get from you? But like, this is a good thing for me. And then just finding out who I am, and here I am now, and I'm like, oh, I think I actually know who I am. This is good, and I'm a good person, and I've come from and surpassed things in my life that were very dark, and I like to share it with people. I think we should actually have these discussions on a daily basis. Yeah. Nobody's life is perfect. Nobody's not had hardships. We got to take the stigma away from those big words like addiction and we just got to put it on the table and talk about it fucking normally. Yeah. Like, stop pretending like you look this certain way. Like, stop looking that certain way. That's not how the world looks. Yeah. Right. And we gotta talk to our kids about real stuff in a way that they can handle it, but stop painting a picture like it's Pleasantville. It's not. It's hard. It's hard and it's brutal. But it's how you teach people to deal with it, right?
Totally. And apologies if I'm totally out of my depth here, because I haven't had any personal experience with that, but we're watching a show right now called Dope Sick.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't seen it yet.
It is like...
But I know about it.
First of all, it's phenomenally written. And they set it up. I won't ruin it for anybody. It's just a true story. But they set it up where you have like these people and they've got their life together, and you see how this substance comes in and literally erodes these people's lives. Mm-hmm. And like people who are good and people who care about their community, and it like literally eats away at it. And it is a disease. It's like it's crazy to see. And again, I've never had any personal experience, so I can't say that, but just like watching it affect, from that perspective is pretty crazy. It just makes you think, right? And it's like a real thing. Like, it is something you have to overcome. It is something that, probably never leaves you. Right. So it's kind of crazy.
Well, I always say to people, don't judge.
Absolutely.
But it's hard because as somebody who's been on that other side, your behavior is erratic. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's not normal. You hurt people. You bring people down with you. You lie to people. Mm-hmm. It's rough.
Yeah.
But what I always say is that what you see is just the disease part of it. What you don't understand is who that person was or has been. And that person is still in there. It's long gone sometimes, unfortunately, and not everybody can get the help, but there are enough people that can come back from it. Unfortunately, there's some people that can't because the disease will take their life, right? But we have to talk about it. We absolutely, it happens in every family, whether it's alcoholism, mental health, drug addiction. We have to put it on the table.
We do. It has to not be taboo, because you have to be able to talk about it. And if you're having an issue with it, you want to be able to reach out.
So I think that prevents a barrier too, right? And we were close with Mark from Shelter Movers, and that's a different thing, but it's like escaping that cycle of abuse.
Yep.
It's a very similar thing. If you can't talk about it, or if you feel like you're going to be judged for talking about it, then you stay in that cycle for longer, and it's not good for anybody.
Yeah. And it's a real issue, and it goes on every day, and we have to talk about it because we got to know what somebody's going through, what to look for, how can you help, what's the best way to help, right?
And it is delicate too, because again, like talking about that Shelter Movers experience is, one of the things that Mark always says is if someone comes out and they come to you and say, I need help, you almost can't say, I'm proud of you. Yeah. Because then what'll happen is if they relapse,
they won't come to you.
They won't come to you, or they'll feel more shame to say, they were proud of me. Yep. Now they're not going to be proud of me because of this. So it is, it's a whole...
It's about learning the language and bringing awareness.
School of whatever, but it's bringing awareness. And I think, what you're doing and just talking about it is like step one, and just breaking down a stigma and just talk about it, bring it into normal conversations,
And it's teaching people just like you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to say the right thing. We also are humans. So we also come to the table sometimes totally caring and wanting to help. But if the person eventually doesn't seem to be doing what you think they should be doing, sometimes you lose patience or you don't stand next to them. And I always say to people, you have to bring love. And that's the only message, regardless how this person shows up. Even if they're staying outside, even if you're scared for them, even if they've done something horrible to you, you have to remember that the message is only love. Mm-hmm. And that, unfortunately, you can't save everybody. Right. And we have a savior complex. And some people are just where they're at, and you have to meet them where they're at. And you have to meet them with dignity.
Yeah.
Right? Regardless of what you think or how you feel about the situation, you have to take that away, and you just have to meet them where they are and get them what they need, and then bugger off if you need to bugger off.
Totally.
And respect their space.
Yeah. Because like I think a lot of what we, where we end up, where we are in life, all that stuff. Yes, we make some decisions, but a lot of it is like with the circumstances that we're born into.
Yeah.
Like if I was born in a different country in a different time, whatever, like we are, I think 70, whatever, that a large percentage of it is luck, like what we're born into, never being exposed to certain things and things like that. So it's, again, I think I'm getting a little bit out of my depth here, but you always, I think, like you said, have to be empathetic, because you could just as easily be in that situation if you didn't get the same deck of cards. Like it's not something that people can control.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like look at me, born and raised in the beach, adopted into a pretty well-to-do family. And there I was at the age of 15, gone.
Yeah.
Right? Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Even when I do customer service at Torq every day, or even in my other jobs, you don't know who's walked through your door. You have no idea what their circumstances are. You have no idea what kind of day they've had. It's really important that you just meet people where they're at. You greet them, you respect them, and so that they know that if they ever need to talk to you, if they ever need to say anything, that space is always available to them, right?
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
I'm going to shake things up a little bit.
Shake it up, girl.
We're going to shake it up because we're coming to the end of like the top of the hour. Can you believe it?
You talk a lot.
I know. Sorry. But we're going to do my rapid fire questions. So,
Girl.
honey.
Girl.
Linda. Okay. So what I like to try to do is just to preface this by, I'm going to try to keep it quick, because the first episode we did with Mark Richards, apparently my rapid fire questions went on for like a half an hour, and
It wasn't the questions. It was, answers lead to other things.
Yep.
right. So
Okay.
I'm going to try to go for answers. I'm going to ask you some quick questions.
Let's see how well you do.
Don't fuck it up. I like to try to keep them East End, but again, if you're passionate about something that's not in the East End, we got Dolly here.
The Russians at the door.
Russians at the door. And we got a Russian princess at the door. Okay, so rapid fire questions, East End edition. If you can answer the East End, great. If not, if it's going to be downtown or central or north or Scarborough, whatever.
Okay.
Okay. So your favorite restaurant?
In the East End, Comrade.
Okay. Best dish there?
The burger.
Clothing store?
Good neighbor.
Favorite gym?
Torq.
Yeah. Coffee shop?
Tierra.
Best burger?
I said the Comrade,
I know,
bitch.
Sorry. Well, okay. Best pizza?
Oh, my favorite is One Night Only.
Yeah, baby. Brewery?
What?
Brewery?
Ooh, right now I'm horny for the Aveling Vienna Lager. Thank you.
Hello. Bakery?
Oh, bakery. Spatio.
Oh, yeah. Pet store?
We hit the Pet Value for Big Country Raw.
Takeout food? Hungover edition.
McDonald's.
Okay. Takeout food, not hungover edition.
What's the Thai place, babe? Mimi's. No, that's Vietnamese. Sukhothai. Sorry.
Very good. And your favorite bar?
Yeah, Whalen, but they closed.
They closed. Okay, well,
Favorite open bar.
What?
Favorite open bar.
I guess the Comrade.
Yeah, the Comrade.
It's so
Yeah.
good. It's so good.
Was that quick fire?
That was
Honey.
the best
That was the
had,
quickest I've ever had.
All right.
We had someone, we lost them at Best Restaurant, and it was
my
it took
God.
like 60 seconds.
I was like, stop. And they were like,
we were like, literally, just name a restaurant.
Yeah.
well, Cheryl, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
We can
much.
find all
Thank
your
you for
products
having me.
at
The Side Kitchen and many other shops.
Okay, Side Kitchen's located at Winifred and Queen Street.
Yeah, 1093 Queen Street East.
And you're in the beach now?
I am. I'm at Life is Sweet in the Beach, baby.
Right at Balsam and Queen. So good. Love Claire. Shout out to Claire and Una.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thanks for
joining
having
us.
me, guys.
Thank you.
Love
Appreciate
you.
it. All right. Love you too.